Lions of tomorrow. When I say Lions of tomorrow, I'm talking about the new future of Lions. You may not think that includes you, but it does. It includes you very much. Everybody is a Lion of tomorrow. If you're willing to progress and grow your clubs and do the things you need to do, you are a Lion of tomorrow. So, my question is, what do you think the most important thing a club needs to focus on to grow? Members, service. I heard, what else? Membership. All right. Sorry? Meals? Oh, well, I don't think we'll count that one. Okay. I think visibility is the number one thing we need to focus on. You have a Lions Club in your community, but what good is it doing if nobody knows that you're there and doing anything? That happens a lot. You need to be able to go down the road and ask John Smith on the street corner, what do you know about the Lions Club? Oh, they do all kinds of things. They screen kids for eyesight, and they do all these community service projects. That's what you want to have. I think of towns like Chapel Hill, or I've lost the town name now. BJ, Lafayette. I ain't even going there. You can't go through those two towns without seeing lions plastered everywhere. Chapel Hill has the tractor pull. That's a big deal. It's world known. It's worldwide, all around the world. Everybody knows about it. People travel from across countries to get here to see that. That's a big deal. That's huge. But everybody should know what the Lions Club is doing too. Not just putting on a tractor pull or doing something like that. They need to know what the Lions Club does. And that's where your visibility comes into play. You need to be everywhere. Does this look familiar? What are you talking about? Hold on a minute.
People don't need a dinner table.
Well, just imagine they're sitting on couches then, okay?
But he's on the phone.
Yeah.
Not talking.
A kid is on the phone. You go into a restaurant, you see it. Imagine they're at a restaurant. There you go. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't crop the picture out.
And the parents are mad.
Okay.
We love you, Evan.
It's okay.
They're color shoes. I like it. I got you, Evan.
They're wearing slippers.
The parents are mad.
Okay. So, yeah, so this looks familiar to everybody. Kids today, all they want to do is have their head stuck in a phone or a tablet, don't they? Yep. And sad to say, a lot of adults do it too. Like it or not, this is the way society is today. And I don't think any of us are going to change that. You do whatever you want in your own home, but when you go out into the world, this is the way it is. And if you can't beat them, join them. That's right. The way we used to get information and news has definitely changed, hasn't it? I know a lot of you. Who all has taken the survey? Who all hasn't taken the survey? Okay. If you need to take that survey, I request you take that survey. Go turn to page 7 in your book. You still got some time before we go over the results. Go take that survey real quick. It doesn't take too long. Okay, does everybody know how to scan a QR code for the most part? Pull your camera up. Talk to people at your table. They're going to help you. Okay, well, maybe who all doesn't have a smartphone? That's the question. That's a few hands. Most everybody has smartphones today. That's okay. If you don't get the survey taken, it's okay. We'll make it. It's okay. Today's youth stays connected with technology today. Everybody knows about social media. It's the world's worst thing sometimes, but you know what? It's how we all stay connected. And I can say that because I've already looked at the results of the survey y'all just took. We're going to get there. It may shock you a little bit. Just to go over some stats real quick. You know, this information's from October 2023, so it's a little old. 4.95 billion with a B, okay? Users are on social media among all platforms. That's 61.4% of the world's population. That's over half of the world's population is on social media of some sort. And it's not stopping. 1.6% growth of users every 3 months. But the biggest thing is that the average number of platforms used. Look at that number. Average number of platforms. We're not, and this is multiple platforms, not just Facebook, but Instagram and TikTok and Reddit. Wow, Reddit. That's one I hadn't heard in a minute. Don't say MySpace. I think mine's probably still out there from somewhere. I don't know. 6.7 average accounts people have. You know, every website's got to have a password, doesn't it? How many passwords y'all would like to keep up with? Oh, that's so annoying. 6.7 platforms. You know, we're not just on Facebook anymore, especially with the youth. And that's what we're trying to target, right? We're trying to target the youth. You know, Leos are young lions. And Lion Gunner's got a really good presentation coming up here after lunch. And I encourage you to go listen to it. And it's talking about lions that are leaving the schools because of regulations are so high that they're going out into the community. And that's a big need in today's world. So where do they get their information? Look at all these platforms. Oh my goodness. Well, we know Facebook. Most of us know TikTok by now. It may not be on by tomorrow, but they're talking about canceling it. Snapchat. Believe it or not, YouTube is a social media site. You can comment and talk to people and send things all over the place. There's WhatsApp. A lot of us that talk to people overseas, WhatsApp's pretty common. That over there on the right is LinkedIn. That's the new logo of LinkedIn. X, which is formerly known as Twitter. Elon Musk renamed it and redid it all. There's your Reddit up here. It's up here in the little mouse with the ear, with the alien. That's Reddit. Pinterest. Who uses Pinterest? I see a lot of ladies, except Dennis. Dennis, are you looking at wedding photos all the time? Looking at? Okay. He's looking at car photos.
Don't just say Evan don't look at Pinterest. He does.
I use Pinterest every now and then. It's okay. Most used social media platforms worldwide. Obviously, Facebook's at the top. You believe YouTube is second?
Yeah.
Who watches YouTube? Everybody needs to know how to open that can in their pantry that hasn't been opened in 10 years. Everybody needs to know that every now and then. Look at Jack. Jack's over here watching it right now. Looking at it right now. So obviously it's very popular with the youth. But as you can tell, the further down you go, a lot of these are foreign, as in Douyin and Quashio and Senweebio. I don't know what all that is. But we know about WhatsApp. That's Instagram, WeChat, TikTok, Facebook Messenger, all that. We all know about those. But this next slide is going to that's going to show a little more about where we are right here. 55 and up. social media brands often used by ages 55 and over. Facebook, 77% of the world. This is only taken from ages 55 and up in 2022. The other ones kind of trickle in after that. Look at 2023, just 1 year later. Now you can imagine what this is 2 years later in 2025. That Facebook is shrinking, and look at these other ones growing. Who uses Instagram? A lot of people use Instagram. Now Facebook is owned by, Instagram is owned by Facebook rather. It's actually owned by Meta. That's what Mark Zuckerberg calls his company now, is Meta. M-E-T-A. And you're going to see that in a minute too. It's important that we target the youth so we can grow. I know in that survey, everybody was asked, does your club use social media? So I'll go ahead and tell you, the majority was yes. But there's quite a few that doesn't. And that's where we got to hit. That's where we got to target. Let's look at the survey results. All right, do you personally use social media? 87% of you said yes. 12.3% said no. Who in here is those no's? Okay. There's a few of you. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. It's okay to not. Sometimes I don't blame you. Sometimes I resent that because sometimes I'd rather not be on social media either. It's kind of toxic, if you ask me. What platforms do you use? Facebook, obviously the biggest answer. Instagram comes in second. LinkedIn. Scott, did you vote like 10 times? Okay, I was just wondering. Okay, just wondering. I'm sorry?
Isn't LinkedIn usually people who still work?
Yes, LinkedIn is more of a professional Facebook account. It's even everybody familiar with Indeed to find jobs. Okay, LinkedIn is actually turned into a lot of that to where it's trying to target people that need jobs. I get occasional post on there every now and then that says, "You've been seen and looked at by 5 different companies over the last week." Like, well, make me an offer. Yeah. TikTok's up there. X comes in fourth, it looks like. Sports U, I don't know what that is. Must be a sports app. Okay, that's cool. I like that. It's going down on a scale of 1 to 5. How active would you say you are on the selected social media sites that you've answered? I mostly get middle of the road, about 3 out of 5. That's about standard. I know some people that could put 5 easily. They're posting 15 posts a day. I know some people that do that. And then like me, I'd probably put myself in 3 too. That's about right. I took the survey too, don't worry. I don't remember what I put, but it's there. Okay, does your club use social media? Very similar results. About 84.9% said yes, 15% said no. What platforms does your club exist on? Overwhelmingly Facebook. Instagram had 8. Now those are going to be multiple people in one club, so that would be understandable. There's one club that uses Twitter, or X, sorry. Pinterest, I don't know what this one is. This one's blank. Local news source, I don't know. Website, YouTube, email. I wouldn't consider email a social media outlet, but on a scale of 1 to 5, how active is your club online? We got 3, about the same as personal use. We need this to be in the 4 and 5 is what needs to be the most popular. Because, like I said, the more, and especially on a business aspect, the more you post and the more you do things, the more it hits a thing called the algorithm. Everybody know about the algorithm? You have to push that to hit Facebook or whatever site's computers that detect, oh, that's an active club, or that's an active page. We need to push that more. You ever look through Facebook and you get that little random thing that says sponsored that comes down through there? That's what those are. And you can actually pay to advertise your things on Facebook. It's actually not too bad either. We've done it a little bit. How many people on your club, from your club, are administrators on your club social media accounts? Biggest answer is 2. That's a good answer. I was hoping that we didn't see a lot of 1s. You do need more than one person on your Facebook page or your social media accounts. In fact, club presidents, I would suggest you find a social media committee to push that. That's going to be your best way. Marketing committee is another term. You may have a marketing committee member. That's what you need to have. Where do you get your local community happenings and news? Newspaper's number 2, but look what social media says. Wow. Now, the majority of you said, 69% of you said social media. Local radio station, local TV. There's a ton of these different answers. Word of mouth, small, very small town. Who said wife? Who said wife? It wasn't me, I promise. Oh my goodness. You know, I looked through all these, but I was really disappointed. I was really disappointed that there was not one answer in there, because I would have definitely said Ed Lanson's emails. Yeah. Ed Lance's emails come through about, I don't know, every other day, sometimes multiple a day. Yes, he does put read receipts on them, so you better be reading them. How often do you read your local newspaper? Look at that answer. It's split about halfway between weekly and hardly ever. Yeah. Who reads their newspaper? Who's in that weekly? Okay. Okay. Do you read it online? That's the question. Do you read it by the actual paper? What all devices do you own or use? That's a good one. So a smartphone, number 1 answer. How many people don't have a computer anymore and just use a tablet or a smartphone? There's a few. That number's growing. Okay, especially in youth. That number's growing very fast. Yeah, I work in banking. I work in banking and IT and banking, and I will say this: we have online banking as an actual platform through the website, and we have mobile banking on your phone. Do you know how many people I talk to every day that does not use the online system? They just use the app. They've never even logged into the online system on the website. They use their mobile app. Ease of use. The easier it is, the faster it is to get to it, and that's what they're going to choose. On a scale of 1 to 5, how computer savvy do you feel like you are? 4. Not bad. Scott, I know you answered 5. Oh. That's not an option, sorry. That actually surprised me a little bit. That number's higher than I thought it would be. If your club doesn't use social media, do you feel like there is someone in your club that could run a social media account? I asked people not to answer this if you didn't use social media. I feel like some people did. But the majority answer was yes. I don't know how well that is. I feel like it's kind of skewed a little bit. But find somebody that can. That's the big point. You got to take a leap. You got to do it. So here's the list of clubs that submitted. It's pretty amazing. We got our South Carolina friends in there. They're here. Berea, where? Oh, that's South Carolina too. Berea, South Carolina. Yeah, okay. I was thinking Berea, Kentucky. That's it's a little more north. There's Lafayette. Okay. Yeah. They're pretty good answers. There's a lot of clubs here. It actually really surprised me. So there's your results of your survey that you took. Once you gain those new members that you need in your club, you're going out, you're gaining new members, you're getting them active. You got to get them involved. And here's the thing: how are you going to attract those new members? How are you going to bring in those people? By being visible, right? If you're not visible, none of this matters. It does not matter. Anybody know what this is? Meta Business Suite. Okay? That is formerly known as the Facebook Business Center. It is now called the Meta Business Suite. We're going to go through these and show you what they look like here in just a second. The Meta Business Suite is something that your club can really use to help, especially if you have Facebook. And I think that's where most clubs need to exist right now. Sure, dabble into, well, I don't know if you can dabble into TikTok after this weekend. Depends on the band if it comes through. But go out, find somebody that knows what they're doing. Try to get them in the club. If you don't have anybody in your club, find somebody. Go find them. You know, that may be a reason why they want to join.
Is it easier to find somebody than to train somebody?
Yeah. One, that's always going to be the answer. Yeah. Okay, we're going to come back to this in just a second, so hang tight. Filing cabinets look familiar? Is that what everybody, who all owns a filing cabinet? Yeah. Who doesn't have one in their house? Or who doesn't normally use one? Okay, so the majority is obviously yes. We keep our documents. We keep everything that we have in that, right? I got news for you. It's dated and it's not secure anymore. Your house catches fire. Think about the people in California right now. About the people that had all their house documents, everything that didn't have a safe, none of that. Think about that right now. All their stuff is gone. That's so sad. It's really devastating. You don't want to be caught in that position. You don't want to be that way. There's resources that we can use not only as a club but as a person, as your personal use. So think about this as something that can help you personally too. Everybody know what that is? You knew where I was going. I know it. Yeah, it's a cloud. I'm sure everybody's heard of put it on the cloud. Everybody heard that? Yeah. Everybody knows what that is. So, what is cloud computing, you might ask? Here's the definition. It is using a network of remote servers hosting on an internet to store and manage and process data, rather than a local server or personal computer, or everything a filing cabinet with physical paper, or especially. That was a typo. Ignore me what I just said. In other words, I don't want to get over anybody's head. I tried to be real fancy and sound like Webster's or Webster himself. If I put something on the cloud, per se, and share it with a group of you or of my club, then it will be available to access on your device. Why did that change black?
The cloud is active.
Didn't know how to do that, but they were rolling with it. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right.
They died now.
It might change back in a minute. All right. So who uses the cloud? I didn't ask that question in the survey. Oh, man, wow. Oh, that surprised me. Okay. What are some cloud services y'all use? Give me some names.
Google
Google Drive and OneDrive? Okay, I heard those two already. Changing again?
Nighttime.
Nighttime. Everybody go to sleep. Say it.
AWS.
Okay, that's Amazon. Apple, iCloud, obviously. Who has an iPhone?
Daytime.
Okay, probably about half of you have iPhones right now. You have a cloud if you have an iCloud. If you have an Android phone, you most likely already have a Google account, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. There's Google Drive. You have Google Drive. So you are already using a cloud, whether you may think it or not. When I take a photo on my phone,
Nighttime.
it keeps changing. If I take a photo on my phone, I have it on iCloud storage, where it doesn't save it on my local phone. So if something happens to my phone, I drop it in a lake somewhere and I lose it. Guess what? I can get a new phone, sign in with my account, boom, there's all my photos back. It saves it in a secure location. A secure location, especially if you have Apple, because I'm a big Apple guy. Some of you may not be. That's okay. Y'all boo me all you want. It's fine. If you have an Apple, Apple is very adamant on telling you how secure their services are. And it's encrypted straight through Apple, which Google's encrypted too. They're all basically the same, but sometimes Apple can make it hard to get into things when you lose access to it. So these are the two, I feel like these are the two most common used by us here as an organization. How many clubs use OneDrive? Okay, this is Scott, you're all alone back here. How many clubs use Google Drive? There's a ton of those, okay? That's a good thing. Google and OneDrive works just as well too, but I feel like the majority of people are very familiar with Google Drive. Even our state website has Google Drive links where you can find documents directly to each district. If you go on the state website, you'll see that. When you click on the Documents tab, go down, select the district you want, it pulls up a Google Drive folder. That's where that is. So, I don't want to spend a lot of time if everybody knows what cloud is. Because, y'all really surprised me on that. I feel like most of you really use it. So what about another source? Say you have your social media account, say you have everything built up. Well, how are you putting, you got to make it attractive, right? You got to make things that are pretty, that can show. You have an event. Belfast has a horse show. Lewisburg has Oktoberfest. There's tons of different, Dixon has their Cycle for Sight. There's tons of different projects that our clubs use that we have to advertise. Putting those in newspapers ain't getting it anymore. I mean, it works. You obviously do it. But putting those on social media and joining those community groups, that's where you got to do it. You can't just post it on Facebook and just let it ride. You have to share it to groups. And I can show you how to do that in just a minute. But here's a way that you can make, and it's actually free for most clubs, one way that you can make pretty flyers. I'm sorry. Microsoft Word ain't cutting it anymore. Okay? I'm guilty of it. I did it too. You can go back on our social media pages and you'll find a lot of weird blocky logos and things that's not that pretty. Everybody heard of this? Who uses Canva? A lot of people use Canva. Wow, y'all are surprising me today. I don't even know why I'm up here, Leela. Man, stealing my thunder. I can't talk about anything. Canva. Canva is a site that you can design things. Here's a catch. Did you know Canva Pro is free for nonprofits? Those people that use Canva, do y'all have Canva Pro? Okay, if you don't have Canva Pro, listen up. It's very important. It's something that you could really use. You do know, if you don't have Canva Pro, you know very well on how frustrating it is to see that little crown above every other photo that you want to use, and you can't use it because you're not paying for it. Okay? Everybody knows that. That's really annoying. Everybody wants a payment. Everybody's got to have a subscription to something, right? That is so annoying. We're going to talk about that. In fact, if I can go back here. Let's talk about Canva real quick. Here's Canva's homepage right here. You can see I have all these projects. I can click on one. Hey, you know what? That LLR website was made in Canva. Yeah, you can make websites too. It's cool. It's really nice.
Are they free to the nonprofits?
That everything, if you submit for Canva Pro for nonprofit, you have to turn in your 501c3 or 501c4 paperwork to them. They approve it. They say it takes 2 to 3 days. I tell you, I got mine in like 45 minutes. So it's pretty easy. But that gives you basically, Canva Pro gives you anything and everything you want to use. So you can make as many websites, you can do anything you want to. But there's your site right there. And it's very easy. Go in, you can take pictures, drag it around, move it where you want to. You can insert pictures. You can do anything and everything you want to do. There was one that I used earlier. Dean Church is not here with us today. So if you noticed, if you refreshed, there's a big cancel button on top of the Dean Church seminar that he was going to do. There's that canceled button. I just go in there, search canceled, bring it over, drop it anywhere I want to. When you get done, you go to publish website, and boom, there it goes. You can even buy the domain straight through Canva, and it's not that expensive. I think we paid, what, $18 or something like that for the domain for this for 1 year. It's great. And after this event, we're going to put the 2025, or 2026 rather, registration on there, so you can go ahead and submit your registration for next year. And we'll have a big thank you letter or whatever you want on there. I'll talk to Leila. We'll get something figured out. Canva's really cool. You can do a ton of things in Canva. Go ahead.
If you give Canva Pro for your nonprofit, your club, is it limited to one computer or one person, or can people share?
No, I'm gonna get there.
Okay.
Hang on just a second. We're gonna go right back to that. Here's an event the district has coming up for 12I. We have a Rise Against Hunger coming up. That right there was made in Canva. Hey, if you want to, scan that right now, and you can volunteer or donate. Just saying. Or Rhonda Becker's got a flyer. She's working really hard to coordinate all this.
And she'll briefly talk about it at dinner time.
Yeah, okay, she's going to talk about it later too. Lewisburg has an event coming up. I made this in there. Bowling for Vision. It's a bowling event. Hey, this isn't released to the public yet. So y'all getting the first dibs. There you go. All this was made in there. As you can tell, I took a bowling ball and just stuck some glasses on top. Made it kind of cool. Pretty simple, right? So Canva. Canva, if you do for nonprofits, what you can do is you can go in to, see, I have up here at the top right corner, it says Lions Club Team. I made a team. It makes you a team. Chelsea actually has an account. Gunnar has an account, and he's using it for his Leo Club stuff. So they're making things all the time, and we can share it between each other. It's its own cloud inside the service itself. They have their own cloud. So whatever you save is going to be there.
How many team members do you have?
I'm not exactly sure, but I think there's quite a bit.
Okay.
It may be unlimited. I did not look into that, but I can find that out.
100.
Yes?
Lions International has their own Canva templates. So if you have Canva, you can deliver Lions International templates to build web pages with Lions logo, colors, and all of that template.
That they do. Yes, they do. Yes.
100
Yeah, that's what I was
There's 100 users you can put?
Yeah.
in a team.
I don't think anybody's hitting that. Anybody got 100 members they want to put on there? Yeah, that's not happening.
I have a question.
Okay.
Accessibility features for those who are blind and visually impaired. If you make a Canva website, how accessible is it, sir?
I have not looked into that, but I'm sure there are. I do know there are accessibility apps
Okay.
that are in Canva itself. That I think you can put like a reader.
So I'm gonna hop in here for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
So my advice is if you just, the main thing you want to make sure is that you don't, for example, and I'm not bashing this, trust me, this is just advice. The schedule for this conference is a image. If you were actually to make that text or a PDF, it would be accessible, but an image just standalone is not accessible.
Okay.
And then the website that you're using, so if you guys base the template that you have off of this one, it is accessible.
Okay. Okay. That's a good suggestion. We can look into that for next year. So yes, I do know there are apps and things within Canva. If you pull up the website and you pull up apps that you can add apps to your site. They should be, I'm sure they have a visually impaired or hearing impaired, well, I don't know if you have hearing impaired, but mostly visually impaired assistant widgets, I guess you could call it, that you could use for that. Any other questions about Canva? No? Okay. Let's go over to Google Drive. I don't feel like I got to hit this very hard, but here's one thing that I use. Here's my Google Drive. This is my personal Google Drive. I have different projects and things listed here. There's our bowling provision that I have. I can go in there and I can see all the different things that I used, and see I have it dated 21, 22, 23. And then I have it shared to myself and Chelsea. I don't have Gunner on there. Gunner, I need to add you on there. So, well, here, that's a good way to do it. I can do it right here. I can show you. So I can send this to Gunner. There's his email, gunnerfuller@lewisburgtnlions@gmail.com. I can send that, and I can set him an editor so he can edit it. I can set it just to view it if you didn't want to give him writing privileges or anything else on it. Or I can set him as a commenter so he can comment to what needs to be changed and things. Gives him those rights. I'll give him full access, so I'll set it as an editor. I can set a little message for him on here to say, hey, go check out your, I'm giving you privileges to do this, blah, blah, blah. I can do that, and then I just hit send. And he's going to get an email that says, hey, Evan Jones shared a folder with you so you can see everything you need. So he's going to be able to do that, and then so he can create documents and create things, and then he can drop them in that folder for all of us to see. Seems pretty simple, right? That's what the cloud does. I think everybody knows what that is. Google Apps itself is really neat. There's a lot of Google Apps. You technically, how many people use Microsoft Office? Okay. How many people prefer Microsoft Office over anything? Okay. Did anybody use Google Apps or Google Docs? Okay. Obviously, Microsoft Word's a little nicer than Google Docs. Okay. It is. But here's the thing. If you're just typing a simple letter and you don't need to get real fancy with it and just need something real quick and easy, Google Docs. It's free. And that's the best part. Because Microsoft likes money. They love money. 365 is so expensive compared to what you could do when you have Google Docs or Google Apps, Google Workspace for free. It's free, totally. Well, you can access your Google Docs or Google Suite anyway, all your apps. Hit your little your 9 square or your cube icon up at the top of the screen, and you've got everything. Calendar, Translate. Yeah, you got Google Translate. There's the Gemini. There's the new AI assistant. Everybody know about AI now? It's coming around. Google Sheets, which is Excel. Google Docs, which is Word. Google Slides, which is PowerPoint. Google Keep, which that's a note taker. Yeah, you can even look at the Earth. There you go. So there's a ton of different things that you can use with Google. who has a password manager? Everybody who doesn't have a password manager? That's maybe what I should have asked. Okay? Those people that just raised their hand, do you hate trying to remember your passwords for every other site? Okay? Get a password manager, and if you have a Google account, hey, you got a password manager. You can put your passwords in, and hey, you could even have it auto-fill when you log in to your Google account and sync it to your Google Chrome profile. Which right up here.
Evan,
Yes.
she's saying she's got a password book.
You have a password book? That's not secure.
It is at my house.
I hope you got it locked up.
No, it's not under the keyboard.
That makes me really sad.
It's hid amongst the stuff beside.
A password manager. Now, here's the thing. I do know some people. Everybody heard of LastPass? Okay, LastPass is a very popular password manager that you can download. Even in Chrome, you have an extension that you can put in on your browser, and it works very well. You have to have a master password, so do not lose that master password. It's called LastPass, LastPass. So that is a good password manager. Bitwarden is another one that you can use. Keeper, you said KeyPad. Oh, KeyPass. Okay, KeyPass is a good one too. So there are a ton of different password managers you can use that can help you. I'm sorry. Corral. I've heard of that one. Yep. Yep. That's an older one, but yeah, it exists. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If it works, it works. Google Forms. We talked about Google Forms. That's a Google app. That survey you just took earlier, that's a Google form. So here's a way you can do this. I'm thinking about it. Here's your responses that we just took. You can view in sheets, and it pulls up a spreadsheet of everything you have. I use Google Sheets for getting vendor applications and things for our events that we do with the Lions Club. Within like our Oktoberfest where we have vendors come up, I put a Google Sheet. I have them fill it out in the form. It goes over to a sheet, and I can keep track of it, and I can do everything I need to with it from there. And I can edit this sheet too, so I can go through and change things and do what I need to. I color code them, and it looks like a rainbow when you get back into it. Let's look at Meta Business Suite real quick. So Meta Business Suite works very well. How many people manage a Facebook account that's not your own? Okay. So do y'all use Meta Business Suite? Okay. You should if you're not. You don't have to use Meta Business Suite, but it makes sense to. As you notice, I'm on the Lewisburg Lions Club. This is our local club's Facebook profile. As you can see, I have a Facebook icon, and then I have an Instagram. So I can edit both the Facebook page and the Instagram page all in one spot. It gives you crazy stats. And here's the other thing. There's a mobile app. And sometimes the mobile app's easier to use than the website. Here's where you can create ads. You can bring in things. You can post different. You can boost a post is what they call it. So it pops up more on the algorithm. Some of these images aren't loading. You can create an ad, create a reel, Facebook reel, which is kind of like a TikTok in a way. You kind of scroll through on your phone. Those are popular. Clubs need to start using those too because that's what's popular. You have to stay up on times on some of that stuff. Ask your child or your grandchild. They'll be able to help you with reels, I'm sure, making them. You can go live, do a live video straight from there as well. Well, what if you say, well, I can't find time to go on there and post on everything. I don't have time to go on there and make a post. You can plan out a month ahead on here. It's called Planner. Over here on the left, look. Go to Planner. I haven't done anything with the Lewisburg Club. But you can go through on a calendar and schedule a post where it doesn't come out that day. You can set it out a month ahead of time to have a post come up. So yeah, you can see, and it'll even tell you the most active times of when people are looking at a Facebook post. Very helpful to look at. Any questions about Facebook, Meta Business Suite, anything like that? No? I was actually really surprised that a lot of you use that. So that's very helpful. It gets me to be quiet earlier. So we talked about those 3 resources that you can use for your clubs between Meta Business Suite, Google Drive, and Canva. But let me hit on something that Carl Webster called me and told me about my presentation the other day and says, hey, you have a major flaw in your presentation. I said, what? He says, you didn't ask the reason on why clubs don't use social media. And all right, I didn't ask that. And my assumption was, well, they probably don't have anybody that is willing or able or smart enough to do that. They don't have anybody that's able to do that. He says, no. He said the reason why is because they have nothing to post about. And I thought, you're right. So I did a last-second change to this presentation, and I wanted to nail on something. None of this matters if you aren't busy. None of it matters. Why have a Canva profile? Why have Google Drive or cloud services? Why have a social media page when you got nothing to post about? You got to be busy. You got to have your clubs be doing stuff. If you're not doing anything, then what's the point in you ain't going to have nothing to post about? There's where that keyword visibility comes in, right? You got to be visible. You got to be doing stuff. And right here, who here today is leaving here, this building today, with at least learning one thing? Everybody. Everybody has learned something here. That's what we're here for. It's called the Lions Learning Retreat, so we can learn how to build our clubs and make our clubs better and make us more active. That's what we've got to do. How many people feel like their clubs are they're not doing anything? I can raise my own hand about that. I've been screaming at clubs including my own, you got to be doing something. You got to be busy. You're not doing anything. What's the point in having a club? Busy club is a healthy club. A busy club is a healthy club. That's what you need to go back to your own clubs and tell them. Come up and say, hey, I went to this learning retreat. I found some new things we need to be doing. Let's do them. It's sad that a lot of, and I'll be honest, we hear the term retention in membership retention. I don't really like that word, but it's real. Once you get new members, you got to be able to keep them. If you don't keep them, they're gone. Well, why do you think they're leaving? Because they're there to serve. They're there to be busy, and if they're not busy, they're going to find somewhere else to go. Whether it's go volunteer with their church or another organization. They're not there, as what Ed Lance calls them, fork and spooners. We said meal a while ago. I'm fighting that myself in certain aspects with clubs. Maybe your dues are too high. It's a problem. Why are your dues high? Young people can't afford that. The economy's rough. We can't afford that. We can't afford high prices every single month like we used to. Especially young people. We have to think about them. What if they're going to quit? I'm going to have to quit because I can't afford the monthly due. Because you got the retired people over here that want to eat. They just want to eat and go home. We've got to do better than that. And your clubs have to do better than that. And yes, that may be a sensitive topic to a lot of members. But that's a serious thing. I don't think the people here that's a problem with, but it may be back at your own club. And I got a feeling a lot of your cases are. I remember the first time we came to LLR 2 years ago, I was looking over at Chelsea. Carl Webster did his Death of a Lions Club presentation. We attended a funeral that day. Everybody remember that? How many times I looked over at my wife across the table and I went with the face like, oh, that hit hard. Uh-huh. Has anybody experienced that today? Uh-huh. Yep, that's what you're doing. I know it is. Because you sit there and you think, uh-oh. Oh, man, they're hitting the nail on the coffin. They know exactly what's going on. I have compiled a lot of... First off, any questions we have? I think we pretty well covered everything. Go ahead, Rhonda. Hang on, Chelsea's going to bring the mic back to you so we can hear you. We got to hurry up here. We're pushing 2 o'clock.
Just one small question.
Okay.
And I know we talk about Facebook, we talk about Instagram and all that good stuff, but, and it's gonna kind of get off the subject here, but how can we encourage our members to get on the Lions portal? I have been,
Whew.
I know it's hard, believe me, it took me a little bit too, but once you figure it out, it's easy. But
Yeah.
I need, even our president right now in Pulaski Lions Club is not on the Lions portal.
Yeah. That is a take a leap of faith situation. There's,
But if you play with it, which I have been doing, when I first got on it, it was difficult. But I went on it. If I made a mistake, I made a mistake and I figured it out. But we have to, I mean, I don't think I have very many members there in the Pulaski Lions Club that are even on the portal.
Yeah. And to be honest, that's going to be most clubs. You're only going to have your key people. Your secretary and president are mostly going to be the ones that are going to be on it. I feel like who all in here is not on the portal? Anybody in here not on the portal? Okay, so the majority of you are on the portal, but guess what? They're here, and your other members aren't. That's a realization that's just part of it. And the biggest thing is that if you are on the portal, extend your help as much as you can. Say like, hey, let's sit down, let's figure this out. As a tech person myself, that's kind of what I want to do. I want to try to focus on, hey, let me sit down, let me help you with this. And even I was going to sit down with Lion Sue Puckett, wherever she's at. Where are you, Sue? There you are, back in the back. Yeah, so Lion Sue called me back a few weeks ago. She says, I would like to have some help. I thought we were going to have a little bit of help here at the seminar, but it didn't happen. But that's, we're going to work through it. Everybody's going to do good. Any other questions? Okay. I have links that you can view. This is my Linktree account. So if you take your phone and you want to scan that, if your phone has a hard time picking that up, I have cards. Come and see me. It's got the code on it as well. But there are a ton of walkthrough videos. And there's even a link to Canva to sign up for nonprofits on there. It's in a section that says Lions of Tomorrow resources. So you can find that on there. You can also save my contact if you want to. I'll leave this up on the screen as we're going to the next seminar. But this is something that the videos that I've watched them all. I've gone through them and I really hit them really hard to try to find the ones that are going to be the easiest to understand. And if you're not on Facebook, if you're not on Meta Business Suite or Canva or Google Drive and OneDrive, watch those videos. Even if you are on them, watch those videos anyway. You might learn something. Okay? I thank you for your time. It's been wonderful. I hope you learned something. So, thank you so much.